Flylady Diane here. I wanted to talk to you today about some of the doubts that you might have about Flylady, about the Flylady system. And I know many of you have said, what good is it for me to watch Flylady Diane's videos because she doesn't have clutter like I have and she's not disorganized like I am. And I want you to know, if for subscribers who have been with me from the start, you know that I have clutter just like you. You've maybe seen the declutter videos. I don't have obvious clutter. I have clutter behind doors and in drawers. I also want you to know that I am a fly baby, just like you. I have a courtesy title of Flylady Diane. I've been using the system for 12 years now, 11 and a half, 12 years. I am a fly baby, just like you. The reason I make these videos is I want you to see that you can do it too. I was just like you. I had clutter everywhere. I forgot to, pay bills on time. I would stand there at 5 o'clock in the evening not knowing what was for dinner. I would miss school meetings because, I saw the email coming in and just never got it written down and never got anything planned. I'm still a fly baby. I am a fly baby just like you. The only difference between, perhaps, depending on your stage of flying, between your life and my life is that I'm being consistent with the system. I've got my routines going and I don't overthink things. I just do something. Now, I don't want to come over all preachy, but I thought it might help if I tell you about my Flylady story, my beginning, excuse me, and I just want you to see that I was in the same place as you might be now, and all I want to do is hold your hand and pull you through the Flylady process, as I did with the 31 baby step videos. If you saw those, you will know that just by taking those baby steps, by not overthinking things, just doing something, one little baby step for 31 days will get you off to a good start. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked already. I was going to tell you about my Flylady story. I've mentioned it before, but here we go again, just for anybody new. I used to work, I've worked for several bosses, 2 or 3 bosses, and I worked at the European Court of Justice and the Supreme Court of the European Community for the British judge, and my nickname there was Miss Organisation because I had everything organised to a T. What people didn't know is that at home I've always had a problem with hanging on to things. My dad used to hang on to every single piece of paper, God bless him. And that kind of, I tried to resist my dad's not hoarding habits, but, he just wanted to hang on to everything. He grew up during the war and wanted to keep everything. Everything might be useful. And, we're Scottish, so we're very canny. We like to save money. So I was working at the Court of Justice, very organised in my work life, but at home, it was always a problem about, where to get started, where to stop, and, the clutter just kept on building. Fast forward to 2006, it must have been, 2006. I need to check my copy of Sync Reflections, I've got it written in there. 2006, I was no longer working at the court. I'm now in Denmark with my Danish husband, who I met working at the Court of Justice. He was working for the Danish judge. I was working for the Scottish judge or British judge. And, we had a child and our son, we've got 2 kids. Our son was about to start school. In Denmark, you start school at the age of 6 or 7. Now, my big worry at that time was how on earth was I going to get my son ready in the morning to be sitting at his desk at school, ready to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that worried me so much because, you know, I may be organised at work, but at home I wasn't organised. And I remember it was the early days of Google back then, but I remember the night before he started school, Googling, and, you know, it was like, how do I organise things? How do I keep my house clean? And up popped Flylady. And, you know, I had read these self-help books before and how you're going to organise your life, but nothing had really worked or clicked. And I remember with Flylady, the difference was that she had a plan. It just said, you got to shine your sink before you go to bed, and in the morning you get dressed to shoes. And I thought, finally, somebody is telling me what to do. If you tell me what to do, I can do it, but I can't just make it up. And you know what it's like if you've moved out of your parents' home, you get a flat or a house for the first time, or you're sharing, you don't get a manual. There's no manual to life. When you start a job, you'll have, you know, rules of procedure, a vademecum, you know, you'll have something, and people will tell you what you're meant to do every day in your job. But with life, running a home, running a family, there is no manual. But I remember thinking, hallelujah, I had found somebody who was going to tell me what to do. And that's what I did. Shine my sink, got dressed to shoes. Now, as everybody knows, we all crash and burn. You know, it went up and down, up and down. But that was almost 12 years ago. And I would say about 5-6 years ago, I really started getting consistent with routines. And it was then that I discovered, you know, Monday to Friday would go really well. And then at the weekend I would say, well, I don't need to do the routines because, you know, it's the weekend. And that tripped me up. So that was like one of the major things for me, is that actually by doing the routines is less stressful for me. It really clicked with me when I did my routines every day that Flylady, doing the Flylady system, is less work. Can you believe that? It's not more work. We feel in the beginning, maybe if we haven't been actually doing our routines and getting to bed early on time and, you know, getting more sleep for ourselves. In the beginning, it maybe feels like more work, but actually Flylady makes less work for us. The second big aha moment, I would call it, is when I realised, oh, now I've just forgotten what it is. Oh gosh, see, I'm just a fly baby like everybody else, in one ear and out the other. What was I going to think there? Just hold on a minute, let me stop. Okay, I got it. The second thing is when I really started to implement the basic weekly plan. Now, the basic weekly plan is where we have like a set purpose for each day. In the beginning with Flylady, that eluded me because I thought, you know, I was now working from home. I don't need to have a set schedule because, you know, I can do things to suit me any day I like. Big mistake, because I just didn't do them. You know, there was no set plan, and if you know from anything about business, if you don't have a plan, nothing's going to happen. So that was my second big aha moment. So the first one was actually being consistent with routines every single day, made less work, and the basic weekly plan gave me less stress, because the stress that you and I have had is worrying about all the things that need to be done and thinking, you know, have I done it? When am I going to do it? The basic weekly plan takes that stress out of your head, because you've actually got a set plan for things. Like you've got a day that you're going to pay your bills, you've got a day when you're going to plan your meals, you've got a time of day when you're going to do your weekly home blessing, you know, the 1 hour clean. That has been life-changing for me. So I don't want to go on all day about the Flylady system, but if you've been having doubts, all I want you to do is, start, don't go reading everything you can about the Flylady system. That was another mistake I made. I read the book and I was searching for groups on Twitter and Facebook, and instead of actually doing something. My advice to you, if you are just finding Flylady, or if you've maybe looked at Flylady before but it hasn't worked for you, is you just got to, stop where you are and just take the baby steps again. The 31 baby steps. Now, Flylady has just brought out a new book with the baby steps. Hooray! Because that's all you need to do to get you started. I made a video for every single day of the baby steps. It's 31 days where I take your hand and I walk you through them. I give you the support, because not everybody knows about Flylady, and your friends don't want to know and your family doesn't want to know, but I want to know, and I'm there to help you. Flylady is not well known in Denmark, so in the beginning I had a few friends on Twitter that we just supported each other, and I am here for you. If you don't have anybody in your family that does Flylady, or friends, don't worry about it. I am here and I'm going to help you and take your hand and walk you through the steps. Now, the other thing I was going to say, and I forgot again, hold on. Yeah, there we are, I've got it again. The main thing about Flylady is not to worry about what's ahead. Just do the baby steps. Because if I can compare it to, like a baby when they start crawling, that is a fantastic moment when the baby starts to crawl. And then it's also a fantastic moment when the baby starts to walk, and then, the child can jump and run and all those things. That's the great thing about Flylady. Just by doing the very, very basic things of the system, you will see results. And the funny thing for me as a Flylady mentor is that the more I work the system, the more benefits I get. But if you think of, the baby in the beginning just being able to crawl, that is just a fantastic thing. So just keep going. First of all, you'll be crawling, you'll think, wow, this is great. And then you'll be able to stand up and walk, and that will be even better. And then you add the next layer of the Flylady system. You say, hey, now I can jump, and then I can run. And so that's how it works. You don't need to be doing all the steps in the Flylady system to see results. You just got to do a few things in the beginning, and we just keep adding. All right. So anyway, that's it for me for today, because I could go on and on and on, and I don't want to get all preachy. But if you've had any doubts about the Flylady system, just take the 31 baby steps. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing, and don't have this idea of, how many hours a day do I need to clean, You know what? We cannot compare ourselves to other people. And if you're asking the question, how many hours a day do I need to clean? I'm guessing that you're not cleaning at all right now. Is that right? Because often we'll say, how many hours should I be doing it? Instead of just doing something, just setting a timer and saying, you know what, I'm just going to clean for 5 minutes and see the results of that. So anyway, that's it for me, Flylady Diane. And I hope you'll join me for the 31 baby steps. If you've gone through the 31 baby steps and you've seen the results with that, terrific. Add in a weekly home blessing. I made a weekly home blessing playlist which walks you through the weekly home blessing, and you can either do 10 minutes on the different one task per day, or you can do them all in one go. It's up to you. I've got a little playlist, so either you just go through the whole playlist, or you take one, Monday is mopping, Tuesday is taking out the trash, can't remember. You can look on the playlist. So that's it for me, Flylady Diane. Go ahead and let me know how you found the Flylady. I would love to know what was the turning point for you, and if you've had any aha moments. So that's it. I better get on because I need to get on with my lunch now. So anyway, happy flying, and keep flinging one item a day if you were joining in with our 40-day declutter challenge, because many of us were just keep on going with the 1 item a day, because you know what, 1 item leads to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, anyway, that's it for me. So Flylady Diane from wonderful Sweden today, and I shall see you all very soon. Okay, live long and prosper. Bye bye for now.